If you notice, a few weeks ago, at least a few months ago, there was this clamor all over Facebook and Twitter. People talking about the fact that your children, they're talking to parents, right? That your children are not your retirement plan. What we have not realized is the fact that we that are making some of these posts, some of us are 35, some of us are 40, early 40s. In 40 years' time, we'll be 80. Some of us will be 75, some of us will be 60, right? Then our children will be 30 who are already working. Some of them will be already 40 who are already working, right? We will be at that stage where we're actually speaking to ourselves, right? We'll be at that stage where, as it were, as a culture across the entire African continent, most of the time, it is the children that take care of their parents in old age. That is another form of retirement plan, right? But right now, go to Facebook. We are making this post. We have said there is a culture shift that is happening already. Some are in support of it, some are against it, right? But this shows you that there is a culture shift that is happening already. You have to recognize it because it may not start happening immediately. It may take the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, 50 years to become solid culture are going to be seen across the entire African continent. So welcome to part 2 of how to retire rich in Africa, right? A step-by-step guide to executing a personal retirement plan for Africans within or outside Africa, right? So we've looked at part 1, right? We look at part 1 already, where we talk about how does retirement through pension funding works. I will look at the fact that it's funded by government or private employers, and the employee contributing a percentage. The employer, if it's government or private, 10%, then the employee 8%, that is 18% monthly into a retirement account, right? That at the end of, let's say, 40, 20, 30, 35 years, 60 years of retirement by an employee, is able to have access to that fund, right? To live the rest of his life depending on that funding. That's what we looked at. That's what retirement entirely is right? So in this part 2, we're going to be looking at why retirement, why a personal retirement plan. Why do you need a personal retirement plan? I've already buttressed some facts in part 1. So if you've not seen part 1, please go ahead and go and see part 1. Why? So right now in part 2, we're going to be looking at why a personal retirement plan. If the government is already taking care of 10% contributing to your retirement, and you are contributing 8% monthly from your income, right, into what you are earning on the monthly basis over the number of years you'll be active in the labor force. Why do you still need a personal retirement plan? Why do you need it as an individual after the government is already taking care of all that, right? That's what we're going to be looking at in this part 2 of this series, or how to retire rich in Africa, right? Don't forget, right, on this channel, how to retire rich in Africa. In every video on this channel, I share practical strategies that the average income earner anywhere across Africa, the continent, right, can literally engage to transform their lives financially within the shortest time possible. All the videos on this channel is about how you, as an African, whether living in Africa or outside Africa, you can use maybe you're an average income earner, right? You're able to use resources that you are earning, your income, whether you are in business or you are self-employed or government employed or private sector employed. You're able to use your income you are generating on a monthly basis to create a life of meaning, a financial balance within the shortest time possible, right? So if you are an African, right, or a Nigerian in particular, who lives outside or within Africa, and you can save at least 200 naira, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 or more daily on a monthly basis, then you should subscribe to this channel, right? Hit the like button, the top button, give this video a thumb up, right? Also subscribe to our YouTube channel, put on the notification bell so that when you put a new video up, you're able to listen to it and engage with us going forward, right? So if you are able to save, if you can save 200 naira on a daily basis, right? That means if you save 200 naira on a daily basis, that means 6,000 monthly and 72,000 naira on the yearly basis. And also, like I say in all my videos, right, on this channel, it doesn't matter where you are watching these videos from, anywhere across the world or anywhere across Africa, all you have to do is to convert our Nigerian naira into your country's currency, where you'll be able to know the value you're talking about to save on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, right? For possible investments to improve yourself and to change your life. So, if you're doing 200 naira daily and 6,000 on a monthly basis, 72,000 naira on the yearly basis, right? If you're doing 500 naira daily, 500 naira daily, that is 15,000 monthly and 180,000 yearly, right? If you're doing 1,000 naira on a daily basis, right, that is 30,000 monthly and 360,000 naira on a yearly basis. All these figures look small until we begin to watch several videos of this channel and see how they can actually change your life. How you can change your life outside of, depending on the government or depending on anyone else. How you're just this little habit of daily savings or monthly savings can completely change your life in as little as 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years maximum. If you are doing 2,000 naira daily, that is 60,000 naira monthly and 720,000 naira on the yearly basis, right? If you are doing 3,000 daily, that is 90,000 monthly or 1,080,000 on the yearly basis. If you are doing 5,000 daily, if you can do 5,000 naira daily, that will be 150,000 naira on a monthly basis or 1.8 million yearly, as it were, right? All these there are videos on this channel that showed you how you can engage different types of savings towards changing your life as an individual, right? So on this part 2, how to retire rich in Africa, a step-by-step guide to executing a personal retirement plan for Africans within or outside Africa, right? We're looking at why do you need a personal retirement plan? Why do you need a personal retirement plan? We're going to dive in right now. Number one reason is this. Number one reason why you need a personal retirement plan outside of what the government is providing for you. We're already dealt with that in part 1. So in part 2, I'll dive in this. Why do you need it? Try to break it down. Number one is this. There is an emerging cultural shift. There is a cultural shift that is happening, right? This video is being recorded. This is 2023 rather. And there is a cultural shift that is happening already at the moment that many of us have not recognized, right? There is a cultural shift that's happening right now at this moment that many of us have not recognized, right? Just to convince you, right? He said, so recognize the cultural shifts happening around you and adjust your thinking and expectation of the future in alignment. You have to recognize these cultural shifts. I'm going to be showing you right now in my next slide, right? As you have to recognize it because it may not start happening immediately. It may take the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, 50 years to become solid culture are going to be seen across the entire African continent, right? It's going to be something that is going to be happening before our very eyes. Welcome to. All right, so watch this. This is my personal Facebook page, right? This is Dan Arubasa here, Mr. What. If you're not following me already, please do that. Go to Facebook right now. There's a link on this video on my description. I will take you to my description on my profile here. Just click the follow button, click your favorites, and I will sharing value on a daily basis on my Facebook wall. So we're talking about cultural shifts. There is a cultural shift that is happening right now before our very eyes that many of us are not even aware of. We're looking at why should you design a personal retirement plan and it's different from that which the government is already helping you to create, right? So in my Facebook wall, right, you see notification here about 2 and all that. But let me show you in Facebook search, right? Look at something that we type now. Say, your children are not your retirement or retirement plan. Watch this. Watch. Just watch. I'll look for posts, right? I'll look for posts by other people on Facebook. You can do the same thing when you go to Facebook. This is somebody here. This is a Facebook post, right? If you notice, from few weeks ago, at least for a few months ago, there was this clamor all over Facebook and Twitter. People talking about the fact that your children, they're talking to parents, right? That your children are not your retirement plan. What we have not realized is the fact that we that are making some of these posts, some of us are 35, some of us are 40, early 40s. In 40 years' time, we'll be 80. Some of us will be 75, some of us will be 60, right? Then our children will be 30 who are already working. Some of them will be already 40 who are already working, right? We'll be at that stage where we're actually speaking to ourselves right now. We'll be at that stage where, as it were, as a culture across the entire African continent, most of the time it is the children that take care of their parents in old age. That is another form of retirement plan, right? But right now, go to Facebook. We are making this post. We have set, there is a culture shift that is happening already. Look at this. Say your child is never your investment. If you are a good parent, your children must definitely be there for you in old age. But no parent should make a child his or her source of wealth or their retirement plan. Right? These are, you will see different posts talking about the same thing. Okay? You will see different posts talking about this. Another person here, he said, excuse me, your children are not your retirement plan. Your parents are not your emergency fund. This is from the Philippines, right? In the Philippines, most parents fund their education of their children, blah, 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 blah. You see posts talking about the fact that some are in support of it, some are against it, right? But this shows you that there is a culture shift that is happening already. There is a culture shift that is happening already. This is a church in Nigeria, Koza, the wealthy place. Very popular church for that matter, right? Look at the page. How many page? Okay, look at followers. That is 187,000 followers. And look at what they posted on their social media handle. Say, as a parent, do not plan your retirement on your children. Everything they give to you should be their privilege. You see, these are different things, right? So first off, there is a huge difference between saying parents do not make your children your retirement plan and a parent, your children are not your retirement plan. Now, this is as far back as 2019. This is 2023, right? So there is a culture shift that is happening before our very eyes. You have to recognize this. This is the need. This is number one is why you should have a personal retirement plan. That the government, whether the government fails you, right, and like they have failed millions of our pensioners across Africa, or your children decide to the culture shift happens, and tomorrow children are talking about taking care of themselves and not you. You should have a plan, a support plan that whether or not you like it, in the next 50 years, in the next 30 years, in the next 40 years, you're going to be old, you're going to be needing resources to run your life. This is one reason why you should take this video and this channel very seriously. If you have not subscribed already, please go now subscribe to our channel. Put up the notification button. Click on the like on the thumb up. Share this video with your colleague, with your contact, and all that. There is a culture shift that is already happening right now as I'm talking to you. All right, so watch this. So the point is, number one reason why a personal retirement plan. In part one, we look at the fact that government is failing a lot of the pensioners because they can't feed the bills anymore. That's so to the point that inflation is rising more than the return on investment or pension funds in most nations of the continent, right? Why should you have a personal retirement plan? Number one, we are saying that number one, there is an emerging cultural shift. Recognize this cultural shift happening around you and adjust your thinking and expectation of the future in alignment. This is number one reason why you should, activate and start executing a personal retirement plan. Number two reason why should you build a personal retirement plan? Number two is love it or hate it. This is your life. Good or bad, it is going to be your personal experience and not that of any government anywhere or even your children. of any government anywhere. Let me edit that. Of any government or your children. Right? This is absolutely your life. Right now, as far as you have an income, let it be as little as 30,000 naira, 50k, 100k, 200k, 150k, 500,000 naira monthly that you are making. It is already enough to create the kind of life you want to have in 20, 40, 50, and 30 years time from now. So it is better to be ready than to be sorry. It is better to be ready than to be sorry. Can you save 200 naira every day? That is 6,000 naira on a monthly basis. Can you save 500 naira every day? Can you save 1,000 every day? That is 30,000 on a monthly basis. Can you save 2,000? That is 60k monthly. 360 at the end of the year. Can you save this little money? On this channel, we are showing you how you can use this savings habit to change your life over time. So number 2, why should you have a personal retirement plan that is separated from your children and separated away from the government, that is 100% under your control? Love it or hate it, this is your life. Good or bad, it is going to be your personal experience and not that of any government anywhere or your children. It is better to be ready than to be sorry. Number 3, reason why you should build a personal retirement plan. Number 3, even first world nations are struggling with managing the ever-increasing population of pensioners, and this is Africa, a third world nation. This is Africa, a third world nation. Almighty America, even in Europe, pensioners are struggling. Go online, you will just Google online, see struggling, and even in first world nations. So what makes you think in the next 40 years, America is over 200 years old? US is over 200 years old. Nigeria, for instance, is just about 60-something years old. So what makes you think that we're going to be getting it right in the next 40 years, the next 50 years, the next 100 years? That is why you must activate a personal retirement plan. These 3 reasons is covered already for part 2 of this series, how to retire rich in Africa. Right? So you don't want to be like these guys. It is no fault of theirs, if you ask me. Probably they have no access to income that you have access to right now. Who want to hit the streets of the nation to start begging, to start begging the government to take care of them, to take care of their needs or to pay their pension, the money they have saved over the year. They don't want to be like these guys. But right now, I want you to imagine something. Right now, as we are here, I want you to imagine the possibility. Right? Let's imagine that this is 120,000. Now, imagine that this now frustrated and government abandoned pensioners started on time, say 40 years ago, to start saving at least 10,000 monthly at 100 naira monthly income. That is, instead of just waiting for that pension money, right, that was going to come at the end of their retirement, they now decided that, you know what, I want to build a personal retirement plan, right? Let me start saving on a monthly basis 10,000 naira every month for every salary that comes in, and keeping 10,000 naira, right, in savings towards my retirement in 40 years time. Let's say these guys who are already here right now, 40 years ago, when they were still youth like you and I, started saving 10,000 naira from their salary on a monthly basis, right? The question is, do you think that they will still be here right now, struggling and begging the government to give them money to be able to take care of them in old age? Now, at 120,000, right, that is 30,000 every month. Look here, this is 120,000 times 12, right? That is 120,000, right? Now, imagine that this now for the government pensioners, abandoned pensioners, had in time to save, then over a 10 years period, that is to start saving at least 10,000 over a 20 years period, it's going to be around 2.4 million as savings, right? It's small, yes, but follow me in this channel. I'm going to be breaking it down how they can use this. That is how they can use this to actually build their life. Now, in all their savings for a 40 years period, if they were saving 10,000, right? 30,000 every month for 40 years, what they would have had would have been 4.8 million in savings. It's nothing, right? I know it's small, yes. But then, as we continue in this series, don't worry, don't forget that this part is from part 1 to part 5. I will show you how that with this they will be able to build a life. So at 100,000 naira income, that is 10,000 naira monthly, personal retirement savings, extra savings, employer plus over 12 months is 120,000 per annum. If they are saving 10,000 naira every month for 1 year, is 120,000 per annum. For the first 20 years, right? At 120 per annum, that is 2.4 million in 20 years in savings. In 40 years, at 120,000 naira per annum, that is 4.8 million in 40 years in savings, like I have said before. Now, why this figure might look small, however, the most important part of this venture is that there is a personal commitment towards executing a personalized retirement plan that is separated from what the government has 100% control over. The entire idea is that, imagine that they were able to commit themselves to saving 10,000 every month, something that some of us cannot do right now. Even though you have the resources to do it, some of us cannot bring yourself towards doing it. But remember, there is a culture shift that's already happening right now. There is a culture shift that's happening right now. Your life in the next 40 years is going to be a product of what you are doing right now with your life, with your income. What the money that comes to your hand, what do you do with them? It's going to be a function of all that, right? So the next question we want to ask is that, what happens to inflation with these savings? How do you save, for instance, how do you save 4.8 million in 40 years, right? That is 2.4 million in 20 years. How do you save that amount of money, right? And inflation will not hit it over time, that the money is now worth, maybe in 40 years time it will be worth, like, let's say 1,000 naira, or even let's say 200,000, right? How do you avoid all that? We've looked at this already before now, right? When we look at the fact that every year in part 1 we look at this. Most of the time, if like in 2021 and 2022, look at return on investment for pension, then you have inflation rising high to 17 point something percent. Look at return on investment for pension fund. Look at inflation. How do you use this period, right, to balance, to how do you save this money in such a way that inflation does not affect it, right? That is why in the next part, which is part 3, I'm going to be looking at how to organize the 4 factors of production. Even we want 20,000 at the end of every year, right? I'm going to be showing you in the next video how mind-blowing it is that these guys can use this 10,000 saving as a team and build a 300 million business in 5 years. It's all going to be around the 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. This is how to retire rich in Africa. You have to learn how to organize land, organize labor, organize capital, and organize entrepreneurship. So in the next part 3, I'm going to be showing you how to build a 300 million business enterprise in 5 years, saving at least 10,000 naira. It should be 10,000 naira. Saving 10,000 naira monthly using real estate, right? We look at the fact that if they are saving 10,000 naira every month, right, what we're going to end up with is 4.8 million in 40 years. Of course, inflation will deal with this and turn it to 800,000 in 40 years. That is if it still has value. But then, I'm going to be in the next video, I'm going to be showing you how that they can use the same habits, right, of saving 10,000 every month, the same habit, how to build a 300 million business enterprise in 5 years, saving at least 10,000 monthly using real estate. That is what the next video, the next part 3 it is going to be about. If you check right now on this channel, you're going to see a lot of videos that cover several topics about savings and how to use your savings to change your life. So let's look forward to part 3 of how to retire rich in Africa. So if you're an African and a Nigerian in particular who lives either outside or within Africa, and you can afford to save 200 naira, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 or more daily on a monthly basis, then subscribe to this channel, right? Put on the notification bell and you're able to do that at the end of the day. If you're saving 200 naira every day, that's 60,000, that is 6,000 naira monthly and 72,000 naira yearly. If you are saving 500 naira daily, that is 15,000 naira monthly and 180,000 naira yearly. If you are saving 1,000 naira daily, that is 30,000 monthly and 360,000 naira yearly. If you are saving 2,000 naira daily, that is 60,000 naira monthly, 730,000 naira yearly. If you are saving 3,000 naira daily, that is 90,000 naira on the monthly and 1,080,000 yearly. If you are saving 5,000 naira daily, that is 150,000 naira monthly and 1.8 million naira on a yearly basis, right? So help you, as it were, on our channels, right? All our platforms. We have created what we call the Global Wealth Creators Community on Facebook with Dan Arobosa. It's a global wealth creator community where you have people from Kenya, South Africa, Nigerians, Zimbabwe, Rwanda, right? All of them are inside this community. They are all wealth creators in that community, where you can partner with people, you can negotiate with people, and you're able to build resources together, both human resource and financial resources, right? Put resources together and be able to grow a robust community of wealth creators from across the globe. So the link will be attached to this video right now. Somewhere on the description on this video, you will see the Wealth Creators Community on Facebook. The link is there. Just click on the link. You'll be asked some questions. Answer them, and you'll be able to get into our community on Facebook. And furthermore, learning resources with Dan Arobosa. Also on the description channel of this channel, you're going to be seeing a link to my store, right? Where you have resources, some paid, some free, that you can download for free, right? And you start learning how to build wealth using your savings as an individual, right? So in part 3, we're going to be looking at how to retire rich in Africa, where I'll be showing you how to build a 300 million business, right? Where I'll be showing you how to build a 300 million business enterprise in 5 years, saving at least 10,000 monthly using real estate as a business enterprise. So till I see you again in the next video, my name is Dan Arobosa. I'm a life after school coach. I'm a quantum leap enabler. I'm a value market strategist. I'm a goals achievers expert, and above all, I am an XME master fundraiser with over 10 years experience across the board. See you in part 3 of this series, and several videos spread across this channel that you can subscribe to and also learn a lot from them. Kasha, see you in the next video.